Recently, I got the opportunity to not only meet, but to interview the group Ghetto Gastro, hailing all the way from Bronx, New York. Over a couple of days, I learned so much from them and was so inspired. Make sure you check out this episode. It was amazing, and I know you'll enjoy it.
Check 1, 2. So check it out. We're gonna have a great time this evening. If y'all came out to have a good time, make some noise. So check it out. If you were at the show the other day, you know what's getting ready to happen. So at a hip hop show, you needed a whole lot of call and response. At a dinner party, we're gonna turn it into a whole different kind of dinner party, right? So follow me real quick. Somebody say ho! Ho! Say ho! Ho! Say ho! 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 Now somebody, anybody, all the hungry people scream! Coming to the stage from the Bronx, New York.
All right.
She stands about 7 feet tall and will dunk on you in a heartbeat. Put your hands together and make some noise for Sade!
Wow, what an entrance. Thank you so much, DJ Invisible. If you could see me blushing, I'd be bright red. Thank you. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody in the room tonight. Welcome to the residence of the ambassador. Unfortunately, he isn't here tonight. We'll hear some remarks in a second. We'll have a video play soon, so we'll all migrate to the center of the room. But I just wanted to tell everybody, welcome. You're in for an amazing night. This is in honor of the bicentennial year. This is in honor of U.S. Liberian bilateral relations, our cuisine, our connections, and food security, and what the next 200 years will look like. Me at my second week mark here. All the diplomats in the room know when you go to a new country, you're a little scared, you don't know what to eat, you're kind of hungry the first couple weeks, and you want to find something that's familiar. So those first couple weeks can be pretty tough. But I had the pleasure of going to Buchanan, where I had fever relief for the first time, yeah. And I looked at this plate and said, this is familiar. This is greens, there's chicken, there's fish in this. This looks like what I grew up eating. And then it sparked this whole conversation between my friends and my family about what the African diaspora means, and specifically putting that into perspective during the bicentennial year, where enslaved Africans were trafficked all across the world, including to the US, and then migrated back here in the hopes for a better future. And 200 years later, we're all still figuring this out, even more optimistic than ever.
And some of my favorite memories in Liberia were the times I invited people over to cook gumbo. This is what I have come to call gumbo diplomacy. I have one thing in common with Liberia. I don't feel as if I've eaten if I don't have rice.
Okay. Okay.
Holidays in Liberia on Saturday and Sundays. That is what today is all about. Bringing chefs, entrepreneurs, farmers, activists, government officials, and friends together to connect over our love for food. Because we know that good food brings us closer together and nourishes our minds, our bodies, and our souls. But we also know that for millions and millions of people around the world, this nourishment is out of reach. Right now, we're facing the worst food security crisis any of us have ever seen. Over 828 million people will go to bed hungry tonight. I'm also excited about the partnership between the U.S. and Liberia through the Feed the Future initiative, which will help Liberia build sustainable, resilient food systems over the next 5 years. This is the kind of future we all want to build. One where Africa provides for Africa with self-sustaining food systems. One where food diplomacy helps sustain peace and democracy. And one where the unique relationship between the U.S. and Liberia and other countries across the continent grows even stronger. Thank you for inviting me to take part in today's event. I hope we can get together over a big pot of hot gumbo, a fufu and soup.
Hey, like it.
And I encourage you to enjoy an amazing kitchen overlooking the Atlantic Ocean.
I love it.
Thank you.
And being from the Bronx, New York, I will say I have been,
Okay.
I have been such a fan of the group Ghetto Gastro. I'll let them further introduce themselves, but this is a group straight from the Bronx, New York, just like me. This is a group that's passionate about gastro diplomacy, just like me. These are all around Renaissance men. There are chefs in this group, public speakers in this group at the intersections of art, fashion, culture, food. I let them go on and on and on about this crazy ride that I took them on. You guys gotta give them props. They have been through it with me.
It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Pierre Srow, Chef P. This is
Chef Lester Walker. Thanks for having us, and it's only right that we brought Mott Haven to Monrovia.
Okay.
Shout out to Sade, Chef Tanya, amazing hosts, amazing people that helped us source a lot of the ingredients out here. Like Sade said earlier, we took an amazing ride. Kind of bumpy, still got a little whiplash to the Robert's Port. So we have a dish that was inspired by that with the gumbo. We call it Grand Gumbo because we got all of the seafood from KB in Robert's Port. TK. And actually, it's ironic that we're here as diplomats representing the Bronx because we have a chapter in our book called Do-Rag Diplomats. And we always considered ourselves diplomats.
Okay. All right. Show them.
It's full circle. The universe brought us here. And we just want to, we happy to be here. We're humbled, and it's been a great experience for us so far. I hope you guys enjoy the food.
What up, everybody? I'm John. They call me the dishwasher. I'm not as talented. But yeah, this trip has been very illuminating. Going to see the people that are putting their hands in the soil, meeting with professors, and going to Providence Island and just seeing the full circle moment, especially being a Black American. Before our first trip to the continent, we were in Dakar and went to Goree Island. So to be able to go where our ancestors departed and then came back, and even understand the complexities of what happens when the oppressed learn things from the oppressor and then become oppressors themselves. So for us, it's just like a really deep learning to understand like our connection to the continent. We just want to keep forging further and deepening the bond that the Bronx and the U.S. has with Liberia. So this is our first time, but it won't be our last time.
Okay, I'd like to hear that.
and I'll just round things out. Talking about the history between Liberia, the U.S., and my family's from Barbados, so I'm gonna shout out Barbados here too. Because there's a lot of history and connection between all those countries and the cultures. And with us traveling around Liberia, being to these different parts and these different points, we've seen a lot of the resemblances and similarities. Like if we close our eyes, or even at night when we're on the beach in Roberts Port, it feels like you could be in Jamaica or in Barbados or in any other part of Africa as well. So the feelings are amazing. We were able to soak up a lot of information, learn about some of the ingredients, about some of the ways that y'all cook here. And tonight we were able to present some food in collaboration with Chef Tanya as well. And the flavors, everything that we were able to source are local. They're going to be presented to you in some different ways. But yeah, hopefully they open your eyes to the possibilities as to the beauty that is here in the land and the possibilities for the future. So the flavors are there, the vibes are there. Y'all are all here. We're here together. Thank you for coming out. And you know, everybody eats. So thank you. Well, John's got something else to say.
And just for the record, Liberia has my vote for best Jolo. So.
Hey! Wait a minute!
The First Lady, President E.J. Roy's wife, was in the group that ate this food, and they were describing. Our February immigrants are now pretty fair Liberians, eating cassava, which is cassava, palm butter, rice, and dumbo, 1879. Dumbo is the anglicized version of the Bassa word doboy. Dog means, in the Bassa language, dog means mortar, boy means cassava. So boiled cassava, pounded in mortar, gave you dumbo. So the settlers anglicized it and called it dumbo. And we still call it
Some
dumbo.
Malgueta pepper oil in there, as well as some potato green oil in there as well. Some coconut ceviche. Plant-based, dairy-free.
Ingredients we found on the island right here, and like Monrovia and around. We went up to CJ, we're going to visit you guys out in Robertsport. So the sauce is made of like plantains and pineapples, some curry powder, coconut milk, and then we roasted some pumpkin. There's pumpkin chips on top, and some mint from the ambassador's garden, and some country beans. So there's a lot of substance in there.
And the Liberian Professional Chefs Association, we will love to induct you into our medal here in Africa and Liberia. So you can go anywhere, take your tools. Let's shut down your show.
Who's this guy?
Yeah, that's the chef companion. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right.
This is that good Liberian gold right here too. You know we can't fold.
Check it, say it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. Say it ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. It ain't where you're from, it's where you're at. Off the top of the head, look, it's time for me to change it, rearrange the rhythm off the celebrations. I am not famous, but it's not about that. It's about the culture and the love. Pick it up, show them some love.
Look, I got it, we're probably moving on the proper route, and probably just to meet your freeze. Move into the world, politicking with all these girls, and moving, they're gonna leave the smoke and express the speed and me. Like enjoying the ride, especially with the vocal, I'm vocal on the side of Romeo with the look.
I'm concentrating on espresso. Wasn't just a mile by any means. Papa God, now give me struggle. I'm used to one in 50 days, yeah. Forget to put our name.
Gastro, it's your girl Philomena, and I'm here with a very, very, very special interview. The guys of Ghetto Gastro. There's so much to talk about, but I'm gonna let you all introduce yourself first to the audience. We'll start with you.
What's up, everybody? How you doing? I'm Pierre Sorrell, called Chef P.
What's good, y'all? John Gray. They call me the dishwasher.
What's good, y'all? This is Chef Lester Walker.
All right, so who's gonna explain Ghetto Gastro?
I can tap in.
All right.
So Ghetto Gastro, we're a multidisciplinary culinary collective. Basically, we're storytellers, and we use food as a medium to tell our stories, Black stories, stories of resistance and upliftment and the vibe. So we're bringing the Bronx to the world. So it's only right we take it from Lincoln Ave to Liberia.
All right, I like that.
From the Grand Concourse to the Grand Cape Mountain.
Okay. There was a lot. I met you all last night at an amazing dinner at the U.S. Embassy, and somebody used the term triplomats. And I can't get it out of my head, like triplomats, and y'all all are dripping. As soon as I walked in, I was like, yeah, I know who Ghetto Gastro is. Y'all stuck out. And we talked about this already. Detroit, I'm from Detroit. Y'all from New York. I mean, New York got a whole different swag, but definitely y'all are bringing the style. You got to bring the stories. Last night was an amazing experience. I looked you all up when I got the invite to do research, looked up the book. I even ordered the book. But there wasn't a lot of explanation, right, as to what was going to happen. So a friend of mine was like, oh, I can't wait to complain about corruption in government and all these different things. And she's like, oh my goodness, this is not what I expected. This is so much fun. So it was a very unique experience. I have never attended a diplomatic event like that in Liberia ever. So what was your experience? How has it been since you've been here?
The experience was blessed. They, Tanya and Sade have taken us around the country, showed us a lot of the beauty that is within, and we went up to Sinjay, up to the university campus up there, got to visit and see their agricultural program, did some surfing out in Robbins Board, and saw some of the aquaculture that's going on up there as well. So yeah, I mean, it's been an amazing cultural exchange. It's really eye-opening to see all of the beauty that is actually here versus what they feed us on the news. And we've had a really amazing trip thus far, for sure.
So amazing. You guys went to my favorite place, Robbins Board. That's amazing.
Got to sit down with the ambassador, chop it out with him and discuss, the export, import situation going on out here and the complexities of the country. A lot of war foods, people are staying away from out here, and we're out here doing our best to contribute to fighting food insecurity, because that's a really big problem, and we want the people of Liberia as well to take in the greatness that they have in this country, all of the amazing products that you have. It's very fruitful and bountiful. You go outside, there's banana trees and breadfruit trees, and there's country rice, country spice, everything is nice.
Yo, you're about to spit. All right. How's your experience been?
Oh, it's been good. Like for me, I've had friends from Liberia, and I've always been really curious about the country, the history. It's a complex history, especially being a Black American. Oftentimes we have this idealistic view of what we would do if we had the opportunity to control our destinies, but sometimes you learn that the oppressed can take the learned behavior of oppressors and then become oppressive to others. So looking at that and just, coming to grips with it and just thinking, how can we be of service to, because this is, when you think about the Pan-African experience, you can't talk about Pan-Africanism without thinking about Liberia. And we pride ourselves in being the Pan-African pantry. So to be able to touch the soil, pick up some gems, build with the people and learn has been life-changing.
Yeah, I'm just listening to y'all. The way y'all talk is almost like a flow. I'm over here trying to grab these little pieces. All right, Pan-African pantry. Now, you did say something yesterday. I have to have you repeat it. You said something about jollof rice.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, tell the people again.
And I can't find, I don't know if you got jollof on the menu tonight, but I haven't had jollof in Liberia. but my Liberian friends have made the best jollof that I've prepared. And the reason I like it is because y'all throw everything in the kitchen sink in it.
And you know, that's one of the reasons why we get complaints from the other countries. They say we should be disqualified because we put everything in, but that's kind of the Liberian way, right?
So you're supposed to use what you have at disposal and zero waste.
And that's what it is. We talked about this last night, right? We had, the history goes down, so we were getting, the scraps, and we found a way, Black people found a way to make that amazing. And Liberia is kind of the same way, we've always been the underdog of, I would say, ECOWAS, well, since the war started, and we've made do with what we had. And I always say this, we don't have too much, we have a lot to brag about, but as far as our counterparts and our neighbors, the one thing we can always say we are number one in is food. I don't care what anybody says, I'm not being biased, just a little bit, not being biased, but definitely you can see the history, you can see the pain, you can see how all of that kind of went into our food, and that is why, say it again, people.
I vote Liberia the best jollof I've had.
You heard it first here from Ghetto Gastro.
It's a fact that like leftovers and peasant food, that's what some people will call it, lifelines of like storytelling and food as well. So that's really important for us when we're creating dishes and we're giving that background to a lot of these dishes a lot of these foods that are indigenous to this country, to Africa as a whole, as a continent, and how the spice trades went on, and how a lot of these ports, like when we were in Roberts Port, it was just surreal to be there because I know a lot of ships came and a lot of trades and transactions were had, and it was life moving.
Yeah. So one thing we got to get them to try dry rice, guys. Dry rice. That's another. Have you heard about dry rice? So dry rice is something that came up in the wartime. People in refugee camps. So basically, we didn't have what we used to have here. So they took what they could to make it, and it is the most delicious. And I have dry rice every Saturday. It's kind of known in Liberia. Saturdays for dry rice. We'll get you some before you must try it. So what you see is Liberians took what they had: palm oil, sardines, corned beef, okra, and made it into this delicious. I mean, it's really, really delicious. But it really goes down to what we're talking about. Taking what we had and make do. And it's probably one of my favorite Liberian dishes.
That's that servant term.
Yeah.
That's swerving term.
That's swerving term. So we're gonna go tonight. We're gonna check out Tanya. Tanya, that's my cousin. She can cook it up. That's my girl. I'm glad you guys are able to relax tonight and see a different side of Liberia. But one thing I've heard you all say, and even DJ Invisible, he and I are talking, what up though, Detroit? You guys are coming back. This is not the last time. Yeah. So we hope to see you guys soon. And what do you guys want to?
Just a warm up. Just
preheating the oven. Okay. The turn up, I like it.
Yeah, it's the intro. No, I think that there's a lot left to be uncovered here in Liberia, and for us at Ghetto Gastro, we're all about rewriting narratives and kind of recontextualizing storylines around food, and there's a lot of room for that here, especially with ingredients like rice that are native to here, but a lot of it's imported. So it's how can we basically rebrand rice and liberate Liberia in order for people to reclaim their power through the food and the things that they grow and see the beauty that beholds in the land. So I mean, like Les said, it's just dipping our toe in the water, basically.
Yeah. So you guys are joining our fight. We're here trying to do that. I love that you said rewriting the narrative. That has been my tagline. I'm rewriting our narrative, and we are so happy to have you all be here with us, helping us and keeping this connect going. What was it from somewhere to somewhere?
From My Haven to Monroe.
Okay. I mean,
Grand Concourse to Grand Mount.
Yes. Lincoln Ave to something. Liberia.
There
we go.
There was something else that was really interesting to me too. Like somebody I mentioned, I don't remember who it was, but they were like, no shade to Obama or anything, but he was not the first African American president there was.
Sure.
The first African American president is out here.
True.
And,
very deep history.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we are doing in this bicentennial year, people are always saying, Ghana kind of took over the return, the year of the return. But this is the actual place where people should be going, and people should be coming. So we hope maybe in the next 100 years we'll get it all together so we can have our people, Black America, Caribbean, everywhere come together and visit Liberia and really, really learn the history and be a part of the future.
Well, this is special to me because unlike my colleagues, my brothers, like this is my first time in Africa.
Okay.
And this is the place where we were liberated and brought to. It's our birthright to be here as a people, and this is the first place that I've been, and it definitely won't be the last place I've been, but this is my homecoming.
Exactly. And
no shade to Ghana.
You're welcome anytime. You guys are welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here with us. So special, and we are gonna turn it up tonight.
Oh, it's lit. Like